son strip searched 2 days in a row. He's been receiving ongoing discrimination and racial slurs since he's attended Mount Pleasant Public Schools. The superintendent, the principals, the teachers, they are all aware. I've made them aware multiple times. Nothing has been done. I'm tired of fighting with the school so my son can receive. On top of all of that, he was placed in a room locked where he could not get out. He had no schoolwork, no supervision, no teacher, no desk, nothing to sit on, and he could not mentally stand in that room for the time that he was supposed to be in there. I went and picked my child up, and I'm working with the National Parents Union to end the discrimination and the incarceration of our children.
Whatever's on your heart, baby.
They strip searched me 2 days in a row. Then suspended me for something saying I had a gun. Then the day after that, they put me in the room, and when I was in that room, I didn't feel safe.
Were you bullied before this?
Yes.
What happened every time you talked to them?
I got in trouble, or like they would try to beat me up. The students would try to beat me up or jump me in the bathroom. They wouldn't let me do the stuff that they're doing at recess. I was singled out.
What do you wish would happen?
That I could just sit and be normal and let the other kids do what they do instead of being singled out on everything.
Yep. Anything else you want to say, Mom or Xavier?
I requested several documentations, incident reports, and video footage, and Mount Pleasant Public Schools refuses to give me the documentation so I can adequately advocate for my child.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Can you guys can stay. Can you go live for me? And I need her phone to do the comment. Can you go back to it? So on behalf of the National Parent Union, my name is Bernita Bradley, and I'm the Midwest Delegate for the National Parent Union. On November 19, 2021, a child with special needs attending the West Intermediate School in the Mount Pleasant Public District began sending out panic emergency text messages to his mother after being strip searched without consent and locked in a seclusion room without any windows, chairs, desks, or adult supervision, out of fear for his personal safety. The child, Xavier, an 11-year-old sixth grader who is both Black and registered Indigenous and has a long-standing individualized education plan to address several medical diagnoses, was held for punitive disciplinary actions as a result of exhibiting symptoms of his diagnosis that have been well documented by medical counseling and educational professionals. Fearing for his life and his own personal safety, he recorded and was brave enough to record, I should say. He recorded the incident for his mother and sought her help directly. Mount Pleasant Public Schools told the parents of Xavier M. that he has serving in school suspension, but his family has yet to be presented with an incident report or evidence as an explanation for why this child with special needs would be searched and locked in a cell inside the building instead of receiving therapeutic support as required by his IEP. In addition, this action was in direct violation of rules, regulations, policies, and procedures according to MCL 380.1307 pertaining to seclusion of a child with special needs. Unfortunately, this is not the first time this has happened to young Xavier, but the first in which there is a video evidence, but it will be the last. Once again, the Mount Pleasant Public Schools has continued to act unlawfully. unconstitutionally and inhumanely against children and families of color in direct violation of their civil rights. The Federal IDA Act and free appropriate public education under Section 504 reads, this school district is the same public school, district where 7-year-old multiracial Journey Hoffmeyer had her hair unlawfully cut off at school without parental permission or consent and by a school librarian, where following an independent investigation, the district found wrongdoing, but exonerated themselves. In response to the complaints, the school district first declined to comment publicly and then backtracked to say this family complaint, including video evidence, was without merit, while at the same time attempting to move to end Xavier's individualized education plan without his family's consent. We believe this is in an effort to bully and intimidate the family while stripping Xavier of his rights. The history and pattern of the Mount Pleasant schools is denying the accuracy of detailed events by parents and students and claiming them to be unwarranted is concerning. The Mount Pleasant Public Schools also has a track record of conducting independent investigations that are not in fact independent and always end up a mile away from the real truth and justice. We at the National Parents Union stand in strong solidarity with Xavier and Cheyenne to formally advocate for an independent federal external investigation and intervention for accountability. The negligent and harmful practices of Mount Pleasant Public Schools must be acknowledged, and these practices must be ended immediately. Today we have formally filed the following complaints and requests for intervention. An Office of Civil Rights Discrimination complaint with the U.S. Department of Education regarding Civil Rights Act violations, Federal Section 504 violation, FERPA request denials and improper withholding of agency records pertaining to the student that have been unlawfully withheld, IDEA and FATE violations and the denial of procedural safeguards, excessive and harsh punishment practices that are inhumane and corporal, practices prohibited by Title 4, a complaint with the Department of Justice regarding unconstitutional search, unlawful imprisonment and detainment, denial of due process, and the excessive use of force, threats, coercion, and intimidation by a public institution's employee. Potential 14th Amendment violation of equal protection under the law and due process. Potential 5th Amendment violation of due process. An Office of Civil Rights complaint and request with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The unlawful use of misappropriation of medical funds, granted services and supports under his IEP rules. A request for external investigation and fiscal audit regarding the use of Medicaid funds for students with disabilities. A Michigan Department of Education complaint regarding the violation of rules, regulations, policies, procedures according to MCL 380.1307 pertaining to seclusion. The denial of instructional minutes and proper educational placement, services, and supports based on students' needs, IEP, and state requirements. A lack of proof for meeting de minimis and yearly adequate progress according to the Andrew F. Supreme Court ruling. Denial of parents' rights to advocate, be present in, and have advocates present for IEP meetings. Rejection of the parental invoked right to stay put with current IEP until complaints are resolved. Rejection on new medical findings and mental health diagnosis. rejection of proofs and requests for proper educational plan and placement, denial to parents and special education advocates of pertinent student records review. We also plan to assist and support the parent and family in seeking legal remedy for the damage and harm caused because of the aforementioned experiences they've had with the Mount Pleasant Public Schools. Oh, I forgot to get y'all with the signs. You want to take pictures with the signs? Thank you. You want to go over there with them? So we have family and friends here, you guys. Please share. Please make sure we hold accountable Mount Pleasant school districts, and we call the superintendent to either resign or do right by children. We actually want her to resign because we know by track record that she has not done right by children. And Mount Pleasant School District has a history of this. We know through Journey. And we're calling for the board to do right. We are calling for this board of Mount Pleasant Public Schools that this district be accountable for children, for Black and brown children, that they hold the same care that they would for their own children. And if this is how they treat their own children, maybe they should hold a different care. How about that? Thank y'all.